All right. Let's give it a second to boot up. All right, excellent connection. Just give it a few seconds.
So scared.
Yeah, I know. I hate to see it lag. All right.
It's
Okay.
just for live.
It did it quicker than last time. All right.
I am clear on my phone. All right, so we are live, but if you are listening to it later on or watching later on, congratulations, you win an award. Welcome to the Oscars after party. A week later. A week later.
Skin is still stinging. Still red.
Still red. Wow. And it's funny because Sunday we recorded that episode and we didn't even mention the Oscars because as much as I love the movies and the Oscars have been going downhill. I think I might have briefly mentioned it, but it was just, I didn't even want to talk about it because, like, I don't know, there's just nothing to talk about with the Oscars and, like, how the ratings have gone down. But what do you know? Like, the most exciting thing that's probably happened on live television since probably a nip slip during a Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah, like the Adam Levine thing or
Fucking,
whatever,
like, you know,
the wardrobe
fucking-
malfunction.
This obviously this has been the talk for almost a week, so I don't think so. If you live on a rock, also I guess we should say
Also, real quick,
yeah,
because
real quick, I forgot.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do this before you go on your little spiel. So basically, if you're watching the video format, out of context, you see our good old secretary Amanda here, who hasn't been with us for a few months.
Yeah,
kind of getting a little deflated.
Yeah.
She's in a replacement for Miguel today because Miguel actually had. Why am I looking at the TV? I should be looking at the camera. Miguel actually had some family stuff to attend to, so he wasn't able to make it today. So we're still stepping in today because this was the best time for us to do a podcast today. So we're going to do it without Miguel this week, sadly. He will be back next week, most likely. So
Or will he?
Dun, dun, dun. Also, this is our second take of trying to do this live because when we did it last time, my computer shit the bed. It just went completely laggy. It seems to be going good now. It seems to be normal. So
Yeah.
I think if it's up and running now,
yeah.
good. We're good. I just had to delete some stuff off my computer.
We're good.
Just off that, wanted to get that out there really quick. All right.
And it's not a sex doll. It is not. It is just a blow-up doll. It's 2 feet stands, and just for, we don't get demonetized. There's no holes. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. So,
The second time I met O.J. Simpson, I don't know. I really wanted to say that. Okay. So let's go on ahead. Let's get into what's going on in regards to the aftermath of the Oscars.
I don't want to talk about it a lot because it basically blew up the internet. Anyone who is anyone, I wasn't even watching the Oscars. I think I was watching something on HBO Max, and I think I was texting my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock apparently, and everyone thought it was a skit. I thought it was a skit, you know, to get their boost ratings, but no, it's real. And so there's a lot of talk about it. I mean, I don't want this entire podcast episode to be about that because it's been talked about the entire week, but
but just for I guess a bit, we should just still explain what exactly happened.
Yeah,
we could just
so
do like a synopsis because I think everyone knows.
Basically, Chris Rock was presenting for Best Documentary, and so
I'm sorry, Sir Lazy goes, "Why isn't it a male sex doll?" I'm sorry, I don't know why. That's kind of funny. Yeah, Gianna, I wanted the Adam, not the Amanda sex doll. Come on, bro.
That one. So, whatchamacallit? So, Chris Rock was saying a joke. And he was talking about how Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz they're married, but they are both nominated for an Oscar. So if Javier Bardem wins, Penelope Cruz can't win. And then he prays that Will Smith wins, and he goes, Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. And that's in reference to her shaved head. But what a lot of people didn't know, and maybe Chris didn't know when he was delivering the joke, was that she has alopecia.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
alopecia, and basically it's when you lose your hair drastically quick. It happens to a lot of men and women as well. And that's why she has a shaved head. So he made a joke regarding to her bald head, and at first, in the shot, Will Smith is laughing at the joke, but Jada's like, I don't like this joke. And so when the camera pans back to Chris, he's like, it was a good joke. It was a good joke. It was one of those jokes that half the crowd was like, oh, and then the other half was like, oh.
It was like a Ricky Gervais kind of joke.
Yeah, basically. We'll get into that, but
yeah.
But so, and then afterwards, he was like, oh, he's coming up. He refers to Will as his character that he plays in the movie Richard. But he walks up, and he slaps him, and he goes, oh, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. And, like, everyone's laughing because everyone thinks it's a joke. And then the room goes dead silent because without any microphone, because it's about, like, a 20 feet, 30 walk up to the stage. And so you can hear, like, he goes, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And he goes, dude, calm down. It's just a joke. And
then he says it again. He goes, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
And when I tell
and then what did Chris Rock say? He goes, and that I will. He was like kind of like.
No, he go, well, between when he first said it, he goes, I'm going to. Oh no, that was afterwards. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
and
like,
also real quick, it's called alopecia.
Okay, so
it's a condition you explained. Yeah.
So the room, I have never the most awkward pause, and I think national television history with celebrities in the room because none of them knew what the fuck to do. Like that was a pure. He goes, oh, well, that was probably one of the greatest nights in the history of television. And, like, afterwards, there's some clips, like, he starts, like, messing up the words of presenting the documentary because he's still stunned. He's
just stunned.
Like, he just, like...
because the thing is, like, a slap like that, when it catches you off guard, it really doesn't hurt as much. It's just more of a shock when someone just does it to you because you're just like, holy crap, they did that. That could be in a regular life scenario. Imagine if, like, millions of people around the world were watching you, and that just happens to you. I will give Chris Rock credit. He took that like a champ.
From Will Smith from the Phillies, a slap like that. Like, I heard that.
Like, he slapped him back to West Philadelphia. But we'll get more into that and, like, what our stances and positions are with that. So,
obviously, it's the talk about. And, I mean, I also just want to talk about it, too, because there's new developing things happening with Will, too. And, like, and just, this is just overall, I'm torn because... Obviously, you should. So, I guess we've explained it. So, I guess I'll just go into what my thoughts are. Basically, I think if you didn't like a joke, really, obviously, if you didn't like the joke, I mean, that's what comedians do. If you are offended, unfortunately, I mean, there's nothing really you can do about that. You just say, damn, I didn't like that joke. I think that wasn't right. Let's move on. To slap someone on TV because of it, not only is it frowned upon, especially what we'll talk about afterwards, but like it's just like it doesn't make you look very in a good stance, a good position. But you should stand up for your loved ones. I think you should stand up for them.
Give them that PSA.
Yeah, you stand up for women. You know, stand up for your wives, girlfriends, friends. Stand up for everyone. Basically, you stand up for everyone. And that's what he did. But now there's all this talk about how Jada, like, especially like, there's all these comments like, why would Will do that? Like, she cheated on him. Like, she openly told him online. The crying Will meme. He's embraced that over the time because that was in 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Yeah, and so like and it was just shattering to see one of a lot of people's favorite actors, Will Smith, just start crying because his wife is telling him that I fucked this dude. Like pain. That's the mean pain. Like
just
that was
straight pain.
And so a lot of people, and I can see where their stance is on this. A lot of people are like, well, I think Jada just has him by the balls. And basically, he was laughing at the joke, and Jada was not. And then the camera cut. And so a lot of people are thinking, and I can see this, how Jada probably gave him the eye and was like, do that.
She was like, honey, go slap the shit out of him on live television.
Yeah. and then there was some comments saying, like, Will Smith slapped him because he wanted to seem a bigger man to Jada and that he didn't want to, like, lose her again. He wanted to show her that he's still there. Now, obviously, I don't know if that's true or 100%. Maybe he really saw Jada's reaction and was like, shit, that really hurt her. Like, and I can definitely see that. Like, that really hurt my wife, the person I love.
Right.
So, because he probably didn't see her reaction at first. He was, like, probably laughing. Or maybe he was, like, nervously laughing because, you know, especially with celebrities, you know, you have to, like, ha, 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 like, pretend to laugh. And so, maybe he saw that and just pretended to laugh, not trying to make a big deal of it. And then, he went up and then he just the rage came out of him and he slapped. So, I mean... Yeah. And then the funny thing is that we were all like on Twitter, what's going to happen if Will Smith wins the best actor? And I'm like, there's no way. Andrew Garfield's going to... Nope. 20 minutes later, this man wins an Oscar. And he puts on the longest Oscar speech. It's like 7 minutes long. And I mean,
he apologizes to everyone and anyone but Chris Rock at that speech. He apologized to him afterwards on Instagram.
And it was a very emotional speech. I will give him that. He did a very well job in the movie, but like that was just so awkward.
There's a classic proverb: "Do not look at where you fell, but where you slipped." Where do you think that Will Smith slipped before he fell?
Wow,
that was really philosophical. I think, I guess I think they're talking about in regards to like
when did he start to lose it? Like start to go.
Maybe
down.
when he started to lose it, or maybe like what it could be both like when he started to lose it, like timeline wise, or maybe like at that night, what kind of like made him slip, like what set him off in regards to that joke, maybe.
Well, maybe.
I mean, we could look at it like both ways. So, I think definitely the decline of Will Smith's, I wouldn't say one of mental health, but I guess mental health, but also like
definitely that.
Maybe like just like his persona, maybe like his way of looking at things. So yeah, I guess mental health would definitely be that pain meme from 2019 when his wife is admitted to him that she cheated on him. But at the same time, it's so weird because they have an open relationship, you know?
Yeah, we got that, yeah.
When did things start to go wrong in his life? Now, I don't keep up with much of actors or like Will Smith like you do, but
not with Will in particular. I mean,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say in the '90s he was like on top of the world.
God,
Fresh
yes.
Prince of Bel-Air, Men in Black was making music.
Goodness.
His music was popular.
He was great.
He was one of those actors who not only did acting, but when he made music, they were actually hits because sometimes actors will do like money. Agreed. I think mental health is a factor. No, I agree big time. I would say definitely. One thing that probably started like the decline that we know of the public would probably be in regards to the whole pain meme where like his wife has admitted to him that she what was his name, like August, yeah,
and then it became the joke.
It became the joke, the pain meme, which like all right, you understand when you're a top figure like that, anything and everything's gonna become a meme of what you do. But at the same time, I can understand why Will Smith was genuinely hurt and maybe probably didn't appreciate the memes at first, because I remember like someone commented on his Instagram something in regards to the meme. Yeah. Like they said something, and then Will Smith comments. He's like, "You're gonna get blocked," but I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. And then he blocked the dude. Like, all right, I get it.
And that's the thing. Like he like, I remember even like there was a TikTok trend. This was probably like a couple months ago, where a lot of the celebrities like you know me from. Like it says, I forget what the song is, but like all these celebrities like this is who I am, but you also probably know me as, and they do all their characters from films. But Will did all the memes. Like he like gained a little bit of belly fat, so he did that. Like and then he goes pain meme. So he knows the memes. He's one of those celebrities that it's addressed to the meme culture, so he understands that. So I was very happy to see that in a way that he's gotten over that. But at the same time, I'm like, is he really though? And is it maybe that Jada is like, I'm not trash talking Jada, but like after she said that to him, I kind of lost respect.
Yeah,
for
and maybe it might be one of those things in his life that he never fully got over, but he just learned how to deal with it. So if someone probably would have bring it up enough, it would probably still bother him.
Yeah.
I mean, because I could understand like, how long have they been married, Will and Jada?
Oh God.
Like since the 90s, right? Or maybe not
together, maybe, but I can look that up.
Yeah, because I can understand that. Like, your soulmate person who you want to love for the rest of your life, the person you've had kids with, admitting that they cheat on you. And again, it's weird because they have an open relationship, I guess, because I guess Will Smith has done stuff with other people. From what I've heard, I don't keep up much with the whole situation, but from what I understand,
they've been married since 1997.
That's what 25 years they've been married.
Yeah,
that's That's older than we are. They've been married before we were even born. So before this little show was made, they were married. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I can understand the whole thing. God, we kind of got like a little philosophical with that question.
I know.
What else did they say? Apparently, his dad physically abused his mom. That was traumatic. I hope he got support and help for that. Yeah, no, I
heard about that. I think
I agree. I'm Jada's age. We took ballet together as young girls. Her grandmother and my mother stuck up for a friendship, waiting for us during classes. We had many of the same friends in our teens, even though we went to different high schools. Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Where's Mr. 180? I don't even know how much I weigh, bro. I probably weigh like 182, so I'm maybe right there. There's a huge scandal when she got caught sucking another girl's breasts in a janitor's closet at her high school. What the fuck?
What?
She has a lot going on, and with so many things, including Tupac, she has repeatedly replaced Will in positions where he overcompensates in expressing his masculinity. Yeah, so I guess kind of no marriage is perfect, but there's kind of topsy-turvy, turbulent.
They both have, like, different, like, things in their lives, and so, like, I mean, that's kind of, like, intertwined when they were, together. So like, I mean, like
Yeah.
you said, like not every like marriage is like perfect. So,
And so, with all this said, let's give our takes as to what we think about this whole situation, the whole Chris Rock slap. So, I'll talk about. You want to go first,
yeah,
or
you can go first.
all
That's
right? So, I'll be honest. I'm gonna sound like I'm fence sitting here. Like I'm gonna sound like I'm the biggest fence sitter when I say this, but this is unironically what I feel. I understand both sides.
Yes.
Like I understand why Chris slapped. I understand why Will slapped Chris.
Yeah.
And I also understand why people are upset, and I understand like the side of it was just a joke. Chris was making a joke. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
So let me break down my beliefs for both sides. So if my wife, regardless of our relationship, if it's rocky or not, whatever, if we're still in a relationship, if she's my wife and she has a condition that she can't help and someone makes a joke about it, granted it's a joke, but in front of a whole crowd and then on top of that millions of people, I'd probably want to slap the shit out of that person too. Yeah. But with that said, would I actually do it though? I don't think so. That's why I was saying.
Not in a live audience. Maybe behind
bars.
The
but I'm saying like Will Smith did what millions of men probably wanted to do if someone joked about their wife but wouldn't.
Yes.
So Will Smith actually had the balls to go up to him and slap him. So I'm like, all right,
he is
wow.
from Philly, so yes.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm all for like, raunchier humor, things like just roasting people. Like I love people like Ricky Gervais.
Yes.
Like his Golden Globe was it Golden Globes, right? His Golden Globes opening was like he didn't give a shit. He just said whatever the hell he wanted. He made fun of Harvey Weinstein, whatever. I'm like, bro, this is amazing. So, and again, I don't know the reference, the G.I. Jane. I haven't seen any of that.
I've never seen the movie.
So I don't get the reference. So maybe it was a good joke or not. I don't know.
I think it was because the character in the movie, she's bald.
Okay.
I actually don't know if alopecia she has it in the movie. I've never seen the movie, so I can't 100% say. But it was referenced to the fact that the woman is bald, and I believe she does have alopecia in the film.
Okay.
And she has a shaved head as well.
Right. So like, all right. So it sounds like it was just like a good joke. I mean, even then, it doesn't sound like it'd be the most offensive thing. Granted, it's kind of offensive making fun of like alopecia, something she can't handle. But at the same time, I understand that, Chris Rock is a comedian. He's going to make jokes. There are going to be things that are more offensive, going to be things that are more raunchy. And, why not spice it up? It's the Oscars, for God's sakes. It's been declined for the last 20 years. Well, this Oscar, for a certain particular reason, not entirely sure why, has more ratings and views above all of them. So, what was I going to say? So, yeah, that's my take. So, I understand both sides. I sound like I'm fence-sitting, but that's genuinely my belief. I do think I understand why Will Smith did it, but I understand why people are upset with Will Smith, and I understand that it was just a joke that Chris Rock was saying. So, now, would I go as far as to saying, like, people want him to be arrested, people want Chris to press charges on him? I don't know. Maybe I'm
Chris
stupid
didn't
for
want
this.
to press charges.
But I mean, like, he could if he wanted to. But honestly, I think if it was just a slap like that, I don't even know if that'd be just worth pressing charges and going through all the litigation for it. I mean, they have money, but even then, just the time and like, oh, I want to sue you for defamation, all this bull crap. Like, I think Chris Rock understood that. Yeah, and he probably thought it's just not worth it.
And Chris recently had so he's doing a live tour, a comedy tour, and actually the night after, his ticket sales rose up, and he went to Boston, I think, 2 days ago. And because people want to get these tickets right away because they wanted to hear what he has to say. Right. He hasn't openly said anything yet, but the only thing that he said in the comedy tour is that like he didn't address it formally, but he was like, so this weekend was interesting, and like I still can't get over that shit. But and then even said like if you came here for me to talk about that, I'm not going to. I will in the future, but I have this show planned and stuff like that. So. So I think he even said that he's still like shocked that it happened. Yeah. So I mean, I would be too. So it's just I mean, I don't know. And then like Will apologized multiple times. So like in his acceptance speech at the end, he says, "I apologize to the Academy, to my fellow nominees." And then a couple days later, he openly apologized on Instagram, apologizing to Chris Rock. And then recently, a couple days ago, or I think it was a day ago, I just told you about this. He resigned his self from the Academy of Motion Pictures. So basically,
I have an article for that.
Yeah, he's not resigning from being an actor. He's just resigning from what a lot of actors sign up for, and basically, it's like better prizes. But like you can't like no voting rights in the Oscars, and like a lot of like in the academy itself of this like big thing of the academy, you've lost a lot of your privileges, and he's resigned from that.
Yeah.
So
I have an article for
Yeah.
that because I looked up. He resigned. What was this? Yesterday, it was announced that he resigned from the academy.
yes.
So yeah, this is from people.com. It just says, what does it mean to resign from the academy? And just kind of goes over like exactly the benefits that Will Smith no longer has. So what does it mean to resign from the academy? So it states that now that Smith has resigned from the academy, he will no longer enjoy the benefits that members are afforded, including access to screeners for films in consideration and the ability to vote for potential nominees. But his invitation to attend future Academy Awards and related events remains to be seen once the Academy Board searches a decision later this month. So I guess that situation is still up in the air in regards to like if he's going to have that benefit or not. Maybe they'll take in some factors. Like maybe they'll take in the fact that Chris didn't want to press charges, so maybe they won't be like, all right, we don't have any litigation to go off of.
And then like
we have like footage of him actually doing it.
Yeah.
What else was there? So it says the Academy's Code of Conduct, which was majorly revised in 2017 in the wake of Harvey Weinstein's scandal and the Me Too movement, includes disciplinary measures that may include private reprimand, public reprimand, temporary or permanent loss of privileges to attend and participate in Academy events or activities.
Yeah, and so they even suggested that I forget where they explain it, but like they, I lost my train of thought. So basically, they said that we're going to take action, but the Academy to review this and be like, but like it's going to take about a couple weeks. So, and I mean, he's openly he realized that what he's done it overshadowed the Oscars, and the Oscars this year the Oscars I kind of hated because they even like some of the winners they didn't even like do like the regular ceremonies. Like the winners you had to find out on Twitter because they happened during commercial break, which was dumb. So it was just bad. It was just stupid. I just did not like it. And a lot of the things that were everyone just talked about the slap, and a lot of the like winners were like overshadowed and stuff like that. So like it kind of just, it just what?
I'm listening. I'm just thinking that is one awkward after party because Will Smith was there.
Yes, but he was dancing. Did you see it? He was like,
I get this picture after that. Someone goes up to him, was like, Will Smith, high five. Like,
hey,
what's up? Slaps him on the back. Good to see you, bro.
Oh, good to see you. Okay.
Damn, Amanda just got the shit beaten out of her.
So I don't think Will realized that he's kind of like, I don't want to say ruined his career, because unfortunately a lot of people in the celebrity businesses have, I don't want to say getting away, but like have gotten away with stuff and like just come out okay. His actions, this is going to haunt him. This is gonna last probably, I would want to say close to the entire year. Like a few movies, like I think they were in the process of making Bad Boys 4.
Right.
But like, I don't know if the people are like, oh, that's probably not going to happen anymore. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like one of those things where like, it's two totally different reasons. But like Johnny Depp after like Amber Heard like accused, like Amber.
That one was, I guess, would be a little more technical because that actually went through court.
Yeah, and
like there was actual,
no one would want Johnny Depp in his movies because of what Amber Heard said.
Yeah.
So like it, that could be like it might come to that where no one wants to hire Will Smith, but I don't think that's gonna come to that because, I mean, he just slapped someone. he just slapped someone, but for a reason because of a joke that was said about his wife. But like,
was it like actually a slap or was it like kind of more of a?
I think it was more like a palm
because
like to
if you heard it, it didn't sound like an actual smack.
Yeah.
It sounded like a.
It didn't sound like his tips of his fingers hitting. I think
That's
it was
why
more like this.
I thought he punched him at first.
That's what the internet said. Everyone thought he punched him.
I thought he just punched him, but he actually like
it went like it was more of like a club kind of thing. But like,
yeah.
I don't want to keep going on about this because we'll be here for forever. But I mean,
we gotta make time for this podcast.
yeah.
Because we don't have many other topics besides this.
No, we have a few others, but like, I mean, Will Smith, undoubtedly, even he knows after apologizing that he kind of shouldn't have slapped someone on national TV. If anything, he should have pulled Chris aside afterwards and said, listen, I didn't like the way that you did that. I just did not. He could have cussed him out, threatened him. He shouldn't have slapped him. Anger took over him, whether it was being like, Jada kind of giving him the eye to go do it or whatever. But like, so I don't think anything consequential big is going to happen to Will, unfortunately. Maybe just the internet is just going to bash him. Granted, the memes,
Oh, this is the meme of 2022.
Oh,
hands down.
this is good. I love
Hands
memes. I
down.
love when situations are made out of or created into funny things. So
Like there hasn't been this much violence on a public stage since like 9/11. All right, this is
So-
just it's
just-
been one of the biggest things.
It's so funny.
It is the biggest thing
memes.
of 2022.
Yes.
Like I remember the way I found out about it was like we were watching whatchamacallit. I was watching a stream, a streamer. I was watch Tipster. Shout out to Tipster. And he was just streaming, right? He was just like, "All right, guys, what topics you want me to talk about?" And like people were just sending him things to look at. And like while he was streaming, someone sent him, was like, "Yo, Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock live at the Oscars," and he's like, "No way."
That's
and
what
then,
I said.
And then like he pulled up the clip on his whatchamacallit, on his stream, and you just see Will Smith walk up, boom,
Yeah.
just slap, and we were like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, this has to be staged. This has to be staged.
That's
Either
me
this
too.
has to be staged, or Will Smith is bombed out of his ass. Because that's what I was thinking at first. So I was like, was he drunk? Did he have too many to drink, and
Yeah.
that's why he had the courage to walk up and just slap
And
the
at first,
shit out
no
of
one
someone?
knew because no one had the clip saved, and like nobody knew what the joke was at first, and then that people heard the joke and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's just like to see Will Smith do that, who's publicly kept his peace of mind even after the him finding out that Jada cheated on him. Like he kept his peace of mind publicly, and then to do that, I mean, it's just
He
out of nowhere.
He's kind of done something like this once before. There was an interview I saw footage from like 2012. This one I think was more justified because
Yeah.
I believe the reporter was being more of an asshole. He was saying something to it, and like he was just being an idiot. And I think I don't know if he tried to touch Will Smith or try to grab him. It was like 2012.
I
and he,
think
like,
I
he, like,
remember that.
smacked
I
him.
think I remember that.
He
Yeah.
always like pushed him. I'm like, all right, that's kind of
Reasonable.
understandable. Like, I think reporters are sometimes some of the slimiest people that ever walk the earth.
Yeah.
You
Paparazzi too. Holy shit.
You just see like the sludge from behind them because they're just these little fucking sloths. You just want to
paparazzi too. It's unbelievable. But
Yeah, they're not good people. But I don't think realistically, I think in the longevity of his whole entire career, I really don't think this is gonna like affect it permanently. Yeah, he'll get some public ridicule for the next few months, and then like after that, there'll still be those people on Twitter who anytime Will Smith is mentioned, they'll be like, "Oh, you mean the guy who likes to assault people?" There'll be that stuff. But I think
Yeah.
overall, I think if he just keeps moving on, keeps trying to better himself, tries to keep his cool, maybe lays out of the public's eye for a little while,
good. Yeah,
I think
that's what he'll need.
I think his career is gonna be just fine,
Yeah.
especially if Chris Rock doesn't press any charges, which again I really don't think he's going to now.
No, I don't think he. Yeah, but the weird thing is like the Academy was like the LAPD police were right on the scene
Yeah.
waiting to arrest. I'm like,
I was like,
I don't think that was true.
like, and I hate the way they were like, just be like, "Hey, yo, Will Smith." They're here for Will Smith. Like, "Hey, knock, knock, Will Smith, you home?"
Like, but you know what's funny? Like we even talked about this. Like, imagine if The Rock was presenting that joke, and like Jada gave him that like go give him a piece of his
Instead
mind.
of Chris Rock, The Rock.
Like I'm like if I was well, like honey, no,
Honey, no.
I will get my shit rocked.
No.
Literally.
Like he goes, "I'm gonna get sent to the back of the room if he slaps me, bro.
Yo.
I'm gonna be dead if I slap him."
But I mean, we're making jokes about it. It's not like one of those things where we're looking down poorly on him or something like that. It's just,
it's just the whole situation's kind of funny. Come
Yeah,
on,
it's-
like
yeah.
walking up to someone in the Oscars, boom,
And
and,
just
then keep my wife's
Nah.
name out your fucking
Yeah.
mouth. That's come on. That's funny.
The thing that I knew that wasn't fake, and we can wrap this up after this, but like the thing that I knew that wasn't fake was his tone of voice. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's an actor," but like you can see how glossy his eyes were getting.
Yeah.
You know, because
like it's funny. He was crying after he slapped someone. He wasn't the one that got slapped. He was almost crying after he slapped someone.
No, yeah, but a lot of people like even like I mean I rarely get like really mad, but like if I were to get mad, like sometimes tears would. If I'm yelling, like tears would start to come out. Like that happens to a lot of people. So like and that definitely probably was the case for him. But I could tell from that when he was screaming and like he was about to break down. That was when I knew that was real. So
yeah. Plus, when you get mad, not only do you do that, but you kind of like you move with your hands a lot. You'll be like, "Just listen to me, Jesus Christ!" You start fidgeting
Yeah.
your arms like this, like a T-Rex. So,
But yeah, that happened almost a week ago, and so it's been on everyone's mind. On that was the most talked about thing on Twitter. That shit, I'm surprised Twitter didn't break at that point.
it's funny. I think I made to mention this earlier in the episode, but like we originally were last week, we were gonna talk about the Oscars. Mentioned like, "Oh yeah, the Oscars are tonight. Who do you think's gonna win?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We completely forgot all about that. We didn't even think about it. And then the night of, I'm chilling right before I'm going to sleep. And like
we all texting our group chat.
we're all in the group chat's like, "Yo," and like I made a few memes. I made a few memes of the.
Yeah.
I didn't use the image that everyone uses. The one of him actually slapping it. I use the image of Will walking up to the stage.
I love that.
And like Chris just standing there, because I'm not gonna lie, that pic goes hard, bro. Like you just see Will Smith, he's just walking like head down, ready to whoop some ass. I'm sorry, bro. That pic unironically goes hard.
Or even when he slaps him, now you go. And there was a meme going around, the hardest pick of 2022.
That was me. I said that.
No. Shit.
Yeah,
well, a lot of people said that though.
Yeah, but I said it first. So
Yeah. Well.
Wait, where was it? Hold on.
Well, we talked about it for almost 30 minutes. But
Oh, yeah, we
that
did.
was, like, I mean, that happened, and so like, I mean, nothing. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, this pic do go hard.
It'd be weird. It'd be a weird time to be a celebrity and to be Will Smith. So
let's see what Lola said. I think Lola, new person watching our stream. Welcome, Lola.
yeah.
Lola J. The best suggestion I've heard was Will should have addressed it during his acceptance speech,
Yeah.
saying alopecia, I think that's how you say it, is an insidious condition affecting millions, and he's proud of his beautiful wife. I think I agree. That would definitely be the more corporate, more professional way to do it.
I think he was just overwhelmed with the fact that he just did that on TV. He just won an Oscar. He probably in his mind was thinking, I'm not going to win this Oscar now, and then won.
Yeah, and he was probably like, oh shit.
Like when
maybe he was from East Philadelphia
like
to the West.
You know what's funny? Like when he slapped him and then he did all that shit, the person who knew that Will Smith won is probably like, it's too late to change.
Yeah, honestly.
Too late to change my answer. But
it'll be interesting to see what happens to Will's career. The Tiger Woods situation is similar, where a celeb with a squeaky clean image flipped out to the polar opposite with one revelation. I mean,
I was listening to the stream.
Tiger Woods is, I think he's doing good.
Yeah, but
I don't have anything
know
much
exactly
about him.
What happened?
I don't know much
I knew
about
there
that.
was a few things that happened, but.
And then Pee Wee Herman is another example, but you guys might be too young to remember him. I know of Pee Wee Herman. My dad's maybe watched him a few times. He was like this goofy guy with like the suit and tie.
Yeah.
I think he was from like the 70s or 80s, so my dad used to like him.
Yeah.
The resignation doesn't sound like enough consequences to me. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't think this isn't something that he should be charged for, like arrested for. I don't think so. I mean, I get he just assaulted someone, but I don't know. I don't think
the video's lagging a bit, or like it's.
Yeah,
like
it does that a few times, but
the audio should be good.
No, audio's fine.
Yeah.
Like we could lag to shit, but the audio would be totally fine.
Okay.
It's just the video because of my connection. So
Okay.
sorry about that. If you're watching the video format, it's a little laggy.
Probably not.
But
Probably shitting and listening to this.
the term reprimand annoys me. Same.
All right.
So
I think-
30 minutes of
I told you
Will
that.
Smith.
All right. So
He was like in West Philadelphia, born and raised.
bro. The TikToks too.
Oh my God, bro.
It's been great, but
Okay.
yeah. So
Anyways.
holy shit. So in other news, Harry has a house, and he released a new single, and it's As It Was.
As it was,
Literally.
as it seems that
As it seems.
it was the #1 song. I think.
I think
Like
it
like
was,
it had, in like one day it got like 21 million views.
yeah,
so.
and it
pretty
was
banger.
battling he's the #1 on Apple and Spotify for the most song released by a male artist.
Right.
I mean, people, including me, have been waiting for him to release in a
You've
single.
been waiting? I would have never guessed.
Yeah. And then he recently did the interviews yesterday too, and he was even saying like during his Love on Tour, he even had the album basically all done and was singing all of his old songs, and even was like kind of felt weird singing my old songs because I felt like I had a secret, and I mean basically he was.
And you literally just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, but
God, this is great. Miguel's not here. I can put my feet
I
up.
know, right?
Miguel, don't show up more often.
Don't show it more often. But I think it's a great single. I think I love the music video of the symbolism and like how it's shot. It has kind of like a part of me feels like an 80s like, or it has like a retro feel to it mixed with regular like pop. I mean, I really liked it along with the lyrics and how the music video was put out. But I mean, I know I asked you to listen to it, but what did you think about it?
Yeah, so you told me it was April 1st. It was the day before.
It was April. Well, technically Thursday night. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you made me listen to it. I checked it out, and compared to like his other stuff that I've heard from like his earlier album or his first album, and then like some stuff from Fine Line. I'll be honest, it sounded very modern. I don't know if I got that 80s retro vibe to it, but I didn't think it was bad. I just felt like it felt a little too poppy for me because the Harry that I like when he's more on the rock side, when he's rocking out like with Kiwi, Only Angel, She, things like that. I like that Harry side. I don't mind his like folky or poppier stuff, but for me, it wasn't a bad song. It's very modern, very 2022-esque like. But it wasn't a bad song by any means. I enjoyed it. Maybe it just hasn't
hit you yet.
It hit me, yeah, because sometimes songs I need some time with them before I can be like, oh, you know what? I do like this song.
Yeah, that was the same thing with me with Adore You, or like Watermelon Sugar was replayed so much, And like that was when I was starting to like really get into Harry Styles, and I was like, you know what, this is actually a bop.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like what was I gonna say? Like he even said in the like that was one of his last songs that he recorded for the album. And it's a track 4 out of the 13 that's on his album. So that's only one of them, and that was the last one that he put out. So, and he's been working on this album since I think he probably around quarantine, so like 2020. So
yeah,
like, he
and
was
kinda,
already,
it gives you like that quarantine like feel because Harry's house, you know,
Yeah.
everyone was stuck at home
Yeah.
or apartments like myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely could have like a post quarantine or during quarantine
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
and
Now, when does the album come out? May
May 20th.
20th.
So not so a month and a half away almost.
Yeah, and so from what you've told me, it may be like a psychedelic.
That's
rock
where
kinda
rumors
song.
were going a few months
Album?
back, and like how it's like gonna be like he's gonna go a few songs are gonna go back to his rockier self, but like psychedelic rock. Now, obviously, one song can't justify that. We still have to listen to the entire album. I mean, I definitely can see him putting a couple of rock songs on there, or like a little bit of harder songs. And the thing with Harry is that like he isn't one of those like pop celebrities that their producers tell them to make this type of music. He makes the music that he wants to make,
Right.
and that what his fans like to hear.
And you can hear that in the songs. They sound more authentic,
Yeah.
more natural, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause
so like
yeah.
even with this one, like listening to the lyrics and then the beat itself, it's two totally different things when you listen to the lyrics, because and even in the music video, because he mixes everything so well.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have faith. Like a lot of people were like, you know, I'm kind of disappointed that, you know, because they were like saying it wasn't what I wanted. I'm like, it was just a single. Relax.
It's 1 out of 13 songs.
Jesus, like, calm down.
Like a lot of artists, they'll have like, oh, this is like a hard rock album, and then you know they have those 1 and 2 like maybe acoustic or folkier pieces. You know, bands like Uriah Heep, Budgie did that all the time.
God bless you. But,
Thank you.
No, but I really wanted to get that like vinyl I showed you, but it sold out easily. It was gone.
Which
so
one?
the vinyl that I screenshotted to you, and I sent you on Instagram, and you said baller.
Oh,
I'll buy
that,
it.
yeah.
It was sold out.
Damn.
So unfortunately, but I'm definitely gonna get the vinyl right away. Hopefully Newberry Comics will have it.
Man, I'll be honest. Newberry Comics is shit sometimes. At least the one at the mall, like, because I'm a CD person. They never
Yeah.
have any CDs. Like their inventory for CDs has shrunk, and shrunken.
And notice how vinyl has gotten bigger and bigger over the
Yeah,
years.
which I'm good because I like physical media. Like,
Yeah.
so I think it's good that vinyl is getting big again. But you know, show some CDs some love.
Mhm.
Cassettes you can forget all about. That's
Yeah.
like you can't even pause or like go back to another song. You have to
Bruh.
listen to the whole thing through and
You
through.
like find a Walkman or like
Yeah.
It's
Which, you know, some people are old school like that. I get it. I mean, I have a cassette player on my
Yeah.
record player. But, yeah, what I'm going to do, I think I may have mentioned this on the podcast before, but once that album comes out, I'm just going to buy his whole discography because
Yeah.
it's only 3 albums, you know,
Yeah.
and both those albums are easily available to, like, just go to
Easily.
Newberry Comics
easily.
because he's, like, the biggest artist right now.
Oh, easily.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'll definitely buy it, and I'll listen to it through and through when I buy the album. So, like, when it comes out, don't spoil any songs to me because I want to listen
Okay.
to it firsthand myself.
And you'll decide.
I'll
Final.
decide if it's a psych rock song. And when they say psych rock, I'm wondering if they mean more of like a modern psych rock sound, kind of like a Tame Impala, or if they're talking like an actual classic or old school kind of psychedelic sound,
Yeah.
you know, like Jimi Hendrix or like, you know, some parts of the Beatles,
Yeah.
whatever. 'Cause
I mean-
I know he grew up listening to the Stones and the
Yeah.
Beatles.
Those were like his role models and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I
his
mean,
influences.
a lot of people are like saying like what I would like to see is like one of his or a couple of his unreleased songs on the album. Like Medicine. I think I showed you it once. It's only been available to people in concert, so people think that he might officially release it. And I really like that song. I want to finally hear it in studio version, because even you said it before, like studio versions and I even know the studio and live versions are totally different vibes.
Yeah.
And I do love the live version of the Medicine song Rock. If you definitely haven't listened to it, it's unreleased, but you can only listen to it from like live shows. But I still think it's a great song.
Yeah. A lot of artists, like, their studio recordings of songs may be like, not that they're not rocking, but they may be like a little more tame or toned down because it's a studio recording.
Yeah.
But sometimes live shows, it's just raucous. There's
Yeah.
energy to it, and you're just like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. So
like that AC/DC live thing we were watching.
Oh,
my
yeah, we were
God,
watching last night,
were
bro.
Coked out, you know.
It was
Just he went on. He went on for like 15 minutes. Like holy
Oh, yeah.
shit, it was amazing.
God, I wish I learned how to start playing guitar when I was younger because I could have been in a band right now instead of doing this stupid cast. No, I'm kidding.
I really want to go back to guitar. It's just that my fingers.
You played guitar?
I used to. I used to learn how to play guitar. Yeah, when I was
Oh,
younger.
I didn't know that.
I've mentioned this many of times.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
But like my fingers hurt a lot, and it's maybe because it's also I do have a little bit smaller fingers than the average. If you want to play guitar or especially piano, you should have like genetically those longer fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think anyone can really do it.
Yeah.
But like it just is definitely more of a challenge for me because I mean I have normal size hands I think, but like it's not like where I can reach in them, and they kind of hurt after a while. But obviously like it's because I haven't played for years and years on, so maybe.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, my hands are a little bit bigger than yours, but like my hands really aren't that big. I think they're like maybe just above
they're normal
size.
They're normal for your size.
Someone's like 5'11" like myself. I think this is normal size. But like, I have this thing where when I would play guitar, if I was playing like a tough chord or something, I had to really stretch my fingers out. What would start happening to me is I would start cramping up like right here.
Yeah.
And then like like for a few days afterwards, it would be this thing where like if I moved my thumb in a certain way, there'd be like this sharp pain. I'd be like, ooh. I don't know if it was like something I like popped or it was just like a cramp, but it felt like this weird like sharp pain if I like moved in a certain way. Like for example, I was trying to learn how to play Stairway to Heaven once, like every guitarist tries to do.
I think you tried to play it.
And it was like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
And like my thumb was ready to shoot itself. It was like this the whole time. So I wish I had longer fingers in regards to that because I would have loved to just play guitar. I used to when I was younger too, but like, when I was 9, I was taking guitar lessons. I got an electric guitar, but after a while, I just didn't play it. And another one of my regrets in life, I wish I kept at it because maybe I could have been in a band by now. Put out a recording or an album like I want to. So, but youth does not have to just be spent on young people. When we're older, like ourselves, we're all gonna be 22 soon. We can still be young, You're
gonna be 22 in 15 days. Happy early birthday.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Miguel's gonna be 22 2 days from now.
Shit.
Oh, it's live. Yeah,
yeah, we have his presents.
We have Miguel's presents. Miguel, happy birthday! God, maybe it's a good thing you didn't show up this week. We totally have his presents. What the fuck did we get him? Anyways.
All right. I'm sweating. Oh shit. Is it hot in here or is it me?
How long we know this? Like 7 years now.
Holy God, I knew the kid for fucking 8 years now, and fucking fucking.
Oh my God!
Almost a decade of knowing him, and
that's what malls are for.
Yes, and thank God there's one 15 minutes from here. But you know what else is in 15 minutes? How much Lisa saved when she switched to Geico.
15 minutes or 15% or more on car insurance. Boom! Oh my God.
Goodness. But anyways, Harry's house. This is the first because I got into Fine Line after he released it, almost a year after. I mean, I knew of Harry Styles obviously, but like I really got into him because he had like emotionally. It was a time where I was like not feeling myself, and obviously I think I've talked about this before. Like Fine Line definitely helped me out, and then the last album, his. Other album too.
What do you mean his debut?
His debut,
okay, yeah.
And then, but now this is me being like the first time as a fan, like experiencing him releasing the album. So it's kind of a good feeling.
You're in real time. You get to experience it
real
firsthand.
Time, live, happening live.
You could be like me though, where all I listen to is classic rock. Most of the people I want to witness at a concert or live, they're either dead or they're like in their 70s now, bro. You know how much I would pay to see like The Who in their prime or like Zeppelin?
Goodness, be alive during that time. And without any technology, not like being kept up with everything, you have to like dig deep yourself. And like,
well, if you wanted to experience a live concert that you missed, you either had to get like a bootleg like recording or, most bands, they release live albums so you could listen to it that way. But even then, those live albums, they may do some editing where like, it doesn't sound as raw. They may do some like clean editing, make sure it sounds good.
Things, yeah.
And they may not have the whole set of the album. It may only be like 30 minutes rather than when the album's like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
But I guess it is good in a way that we live in the day and age where someone could just record a whole concert. We could just watch it live somewhere. Yeah. It's cool.
But I can't wait for it. It'll come out May 20th. So and we'll interview Harry Styles that day.
Yes, exactly. Harry, listen. You're from England. We're from New England. We're the updated version of you guys. Listen. We're like brothers. Come on our show. Come on sometimes. We'd be more than happy to interview you. We can do it either in this apartment or in your upside down house. Just be safe.
Yes.
We
have it upside down.
Remember like that thing in Florida? It's like the upside. It's like an actual building.
Yes.
And the whole thing is upside down.
Yes.
I'm like, so that's where Harry lives.
Yeah, that's where he lives. That's where he shot his album cover.
Oh my God, that's great.
But no, I can't wait for it.
So. I can't believe he stood on the ceiling with an upside down camera just to do that.
Oh, there's so much work.
He put some Gorilla Glue on his freaking shoes. He was like, guys, I'm stuck.
Help me.
Yeah.
But no, can't wait for it.
Yeah.
So,
Here we go. I got something I want to talk about. This isn't like nothing that's big. It's not like anything that was in the news. I just I saw a video the other day and it was kind of piqued my interest because I feel like you're someone who watches some of these shows. I figured you could probably give your take on it. So, adult cartoons nowadays, shows like Big Mouth, BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty. I was watching this because that show I mentioned, Smiling Friends.
Yeah.
I really have really gotten into that show and I really like it. And the guy was talking about how Smiling Friends is kind of changing the scene for adult cartoons because shows like Rick and Morty, Big Mouth, and even some like shows that are really sucky. Like there's a show called like The Prince. It's like this adult cartoon. It sucks. A few other ones. It's just like the thing with a lot of adult cartoons nowadays when they're made by these big corporations, they all look the same. They have like the same delivery of lines and jokes. And a lot of them, even to Rick and Morty to an extent, don't have moderation. Like for an example, he gave an example for like Rick and Morty. He said the reason why I'm using Rick and Morty because like out of all the adult cartoons, it's probably the best one out of all of them.
Yeah.
So it's a good show, he was saying, but excuse me.
Okay, he's
Throat's
dying.
dry.
He's dying.
Reboot. He was saying like, the show, it's a good show, but it can't go 5 seconds without letting you know that it's an adult show. Like for example, they show like one scene where every other word was shit or like some sexual reference or over the top violence or that.
I mean, I do love the violence in the show because it's very like stylized.
Yeah, and it's just like he was comparing that to Smiling Friends because it was like the show is moderation. It uses swears sparingly, but and when it does, it's more emphasis. And that's what we talked about before. Remember when we would do the show, right? I mean, we haven't really touched up on it in a while, but I would always say to you guys, listen, let's not swear as much because if we want to swear and we do it less and less, it has more emphasis on when we do swear.
I don't fucking care.
Wow, you're a fucking no. So I was just, it was an interesting video I watched, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So what are your takes on like the industry for adult cartoons? Like shows like, because I've never watched Bojack Horseman.
So, Bojack Horseman is like very different because it's on the surface, and you even to an extent, because you've never seen Bojack Horseman, you don't realize how like of a good show that is. It has a lot of sexual humor, a lot of adult humor, but it's very like the story in that. It's about depression. It's about alcohol abuse. It's about drug abuse, and it makes a man cry, and like because you want to feel bad for this character, but he's done a lot of dumb things, a lot of terrible things, and like it's a very very good show, even to an extent of Rick and Morty. Where I don't think Rick and Morty, that's where I think Bojack has it over Rick and Morty, where like the story wise, like Bojack really touches on like the depression side and stuff like that. We're really freezing up.
Oh god, yeah. Maybe because we're moving to. I mean, it's starting to. We haven't gotten the notification on YouTube, but it's. Yeah, I think the audio's still fine. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Most people aren't watching anyways
so,
anymore.
So, but like, it the storyline, it really brought out about depression, about alcohol abuse. It really was like traumatizing, and like that was done really well. And where Rick and Morty is, I love Rick and Morty because I love like I love the storyline. I love it when they do a lot of these like violent things, the stylized things, the humor, the self-reference, the meta, the backstories in the show. I really love it. It's really hard to pull off even like any comedy nowadays. It's really hard to pull off what your audience wants to know. So like ever since Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman, and Big Mouth to an extent, Big Mouth is basically anything sexualized. That's why sometimes it gets a little annoying, but it is kind of funny at some points in time. But like you have to find your audience, and it's very hard to nowadays. And that's why I think like when Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman came out, that really set the stone in the top tier for adult comedies, because you had like Family Guy, but that was like censored. That was TV-14. That was a little bit tamer, and you also had like a few other shows like Bob's Burgers and like all like Seth MacFarlane basically created that industry.
Family Guy is another example. Keep talking.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane made those shows, but then like Justin Roiland and I forget the other guy's name in the creator of Rick and Morty. I forget the other guy's name, but when they made Rick and Morty in 2013, that shot off, and like everyone wanted shows exactly like that. And like BoJack Horseman came out, and then a lot of things on Netflix came out as well. So, I mean, it just depends on what the audience is, because it's a hit or miss with comedy. It really is.
I feel like at least in today's day and age, at least the regular stigma is, I think people want, like when it comes to like not just adult cartoons, I think adult shows in general, where it's not trying to constantly let you know that it's an adult show because, you know, I think what you said, like, if a show like Bojack Horseman, because I never watched it, if it deals with things like depression,
but it's also
real
a
life
comedy.
Yeah, comedy. I think that's fine, because again, I've never seen it. But let's take a show like Family Guy, for example. Like, back in the day, it was a good show, and like, although the characters had their different characteristics, like Peter was an idiot, you know, Stewie was like the evil brainchild. They all like had like the a same like feel to them when it came to like being an adult, because, you know, when you watch an adult show, it's an adult show, it's for adults. They want to watch something that they can relate to. Like, nowadays, you know, back in the day, Peter, you know, even though he was an idiot, that's what his stigma was.
Yeah.
He would have moments where he actually sounded like an adult. He talked like an adult. You know, he maybe make reference to like, oh, doing taxes, or oh no, herpes. You know, things like that.
Herpes.
So, but nowadays, Family Guy is just such a, it's a mean-spirited show.
Yeah,
I sound like an anti-religious, or I sound like a religious nut, like anti-violence. I'm not. But I'm
no
just saying,
Jesus, no Jesus.
Compared to what Family Guy used to be, you know, everyone's just like, oh, like the jokes are just forced down your throat. They're just like, oh, here's this. There's no flow to it. Or like Peter, or like the characters are just very mean-spirited. They're always just like, oh, I hate you, or just anger, or rage, or whatever the fuck, you know. Compared to how Family Guy was, you know, it's a shell of what it used to be.
Yeah.
Now, a show like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, that's my favorite adult cartoon of all
never
time.
seen it yet, so.
You've probably seen like the Shake, the Fries, and the Meatball. It used to be on late at Adult Swim, and I used to watch it all the time as a kid. Now, that show, while it can be like, you know, kind of grotesque, a little over the top, and maybe sometimes mean-spirited, they had such a good flow when it came to like, when they talked, it's like they were actually talking as adults. It wasn't a script. Like, they would have like these moments. You know, Family Guy used to do this well back in the day, where when they would talk, it didn't sound like they were reading from a script. They were just like, oh yeah, you know, they'd be like stuttering and be like, oh, listen. So it just sounded like they were having an actual conversation while talking about like real life stuff. And it was funny as hell the way they did it, because the context that it's a talking cup talking to some fat, you know, Polish neighbor that they have. And the flow with it was so well. And, you know, Family Guy was good at that too for a while. But I just brought this topic because I thought it was pretty interesting how a show like Smiling Friends, it's kind of bringing that back, where like,
I'll definitely give it a watch then. It's on HBO Max.
I do recommend it. I don't want to force any show on anyone, because that's going to make someone not like it. But I will say it was created by two YouTubers, Michael Cusack and Zach.
That's what I
forget his last name. The guy Psychic Pebbles.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that someone from the YouTube scene, rather than like this big corporation or these known stars, made this show. And, you know, it's like, has like that YouTube comedy where it's like, you know, I guess kind of indie, where it's like they made it themselves.
Yeah.
But it's great.
But that's really cool that it's from YouTubers, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. They piloted the show, I think it's like they did like the pilot episode in like 2020, right around when quarantine was happening. Yeah. And, you know, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be another one of those shows like, all right, it's going to be corporate. It's going to be like they're going to make fun of, you know, white man bad or whatever the hell it was. But I saw this one clip that single-handedly got me into the show. So the premise of the show, Smiling Friends, is there's two guys, Charlie and Pim. They work for a company called Smiling Inc. Their job is they're supposed to make people smile. They hang out with them for the day, do whatever they can to make them smile, cheer them up, whatever. And there was one episode where this shrimp dude, they're trying to get his girlfriend back, so they're trying to stylize him up. So Charlie's like trying to get him a new wardrobe, and he gives him like this jacket to put on, and like Shrimp comes out, he's like, how do I look, yellow man? And he has like this like leather jacket on, and Charlie's just like, you look like you're about to tell your friend not to come to school tomorrow, man. That's single-handedly, I'm like
subtle humor like that.
I'm like, all right, I gotta watch this show, and it's pretty funny. So and like it's moderate. It's not like overly the top, like violent, or like gross humor, or swearing. It has a good balance. So I hope that it's piloted for another season. So I really hope it keeps up that stigma, and I hope it really does well. But
I mean, if you're telling me like a lot of people are like loving it, then it's definitely going to be looked at by like you know, corporations, stuff like that. But like, so like, you know, like the Van Off's crew, you know, like so they tried to make their own Adult Swim show. They made, or like an adult show. So they made a pilot episode. It was Alpha Betas, and basically they put the pilot on YouTube, and from that pilot they were going to ask Netflix to make it a show.
Okay.
But because Netflix was going into a different creative like stance, they didn't want to do it anymore. So I forget the exact deal, but so they raised like a lot of money to make they raised like $1 million, I think, and they're gonna have their own team of editors to make a few episodes for YouTube. But like, you know, like YouTubers like that really wanted to make like a show, and so like, but the fact that these YouTubers succeeded is really awesome. So I really might have to check that out.
It's pretty cool because, like, you know, Psychic Pebbles and Michael Cusack, it's not like they're the PewDiePies or Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Psychic Pebbles, I think, had like I think he has 3 million views or 3 million subscribers, 2 million, I forget. And I didn't even watch much of his channel before this show. You know what video I know of him? That was the only one I knew of. Do you know that Uber clip? Get out of my car now. You know the animated clip of that? I don't know if you ever seen the anime. Well, he made that. That was like a big meme in like 2017, 2018. So.
Oh, okay.
My hope is that I just hope that it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like shows like that were really iconic, The Simpsons, for example, in their prime and like from like the early to mid 90s, they were like everything they said, every other line that someone said in that show was clever, was funny, and it was just good.
Even the Simpsons movie.
Oh, the Simpsons movie are great. I think that was the last really good thing that the Simpsons did.
Yeah.
SpongeBob, for example, it's like they overstay their welcome, where it's like their earlier seasons were the prime, but then like when they overstay their welcome, after a while it's just like, all right, this is getting kind of repetitive. These characters aren't as likable. They're not the same as they used to be. Someone told me, I used to work with, they said like, I think this can go for like any show. The average like life size of a regular show that it should last for is about 6 to 7 seasons or 5 to 6 seasons.
Right.
So
all right, that sounds about right.
And I agree, because after that it's like, all right, where's this show going? Unless it's one of those shows that like One Piece, for example, where it has like a consistent story.
That's like,
well, no, I'm just using that as an example because like One Piece, it's not like every episode is a different timeline. Like SpongeBob, for example, there's no like order to it. Like one episode they're doing this, the next episode they're doing that. It's not a story driven.
Yeah, it's not
show.
story driven. Yeah.
So if it's a story driven show, then all right, as long as the story's still fresh, you can go on for 100 seasons. But if it's a show like, Family Guy, where it's not a consistent, every episode's different, you don't need to go on for 30 or 40 freaking seasons, just like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So
And that's the thing with Rick and Morty and BoJack. They definitely they are consistent with most of their episodes.
Yeah.
So I mean, another I'll quickly rant about it, but like The Walking Dead recently wrapped up its final season in 12 seasons. I think it should have ended very many seasons ago. I stopped watching it after character Rick Grimes left the show. I wanted him to die on the show, but he didn't, and he's supposed to be getting his own movies. Like the Walking Dead universe is growing and growing, and I'm like, stop. It was great
Take it easy.
at one point. Now it's just, I don't know. Like people say that the last season was actually really good. I don't know, but like it overstayed its welcome for me. So unlike shows like Breaking Bad, which I think is one of the greatest shows of all time, it lasted for 5 seasons and about
25.
Yep, 5 seasons and I think like 13 episodes each season average, and then like that was such a great show.
I do want to watch that.
That's
it's
such a great show.
I've only ever seen memes, but it does look good. It's about like meth and stuff, right? He's a drug. Okay,
Yeah, right. Yes.
Yeah, it has meth in it. There you go. That's all I need.
Basically, from the first episode, Walter White says that he has lung cancer and he really needs the money. He has no money to save for his family. He has no money for anything for his lung cancer. No money for his kids for college, and so he teams up with Jesse Pinkman and gets meth, and it goes downhill.
Ooh, sounds good.
It's very good.
Yeah, I do want to watch it. Then there was a spin-off, Better Call
Saul,
right?
which the last season is coming out soon.
Oh, it's
and
still going on?
Yeah, so that's only 5 seasons, and that's a prequel for one of the characters. But now it's the episode. It's like each season is getting closer and closer to the beginning of Breaking Bad.
And how is that show, Better Call Saul?
It's great. It's great.
Not as good as Breaking Bad, but it's good.
Not as good, but it's still phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
I remember, I think Breaking Bad started in like, what, 2010? Because I remember
08, because it ended in 2013.
Okay, because I remember like around that time.
Yeah, 2008
on AMC, the station AMC. Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead were the 2 biggest shows. There was no other competition.
I think that is when TV really that is when TV,
because those were like the number 1 shows, and that's back in the day when The Walking Dead wasn't like overstaying its welcome. Everyone was watching. Even I watched the first few episodes, and I was 10 years old with my dad. I was like, "Wow,
this is cool.
This is cool. Zombies and blood, blah." So,
but yeah,
we should make our own show. Listen, if 2 animators,
I think we can do it. We can do something like that.
We got to pilot an episode. We got to pilot a thought. We got to make it based off of these 3 guys, right? They want to start a show.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, I think
they have a secretary in a bikini all the time.
Holy Lord. All right, so I think we're all set today.
Yeah. We're about to hit the hour mark.
So thank you for listening or watching. We are on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Pandora. Let's beat Harry Styles' record on Apple and Spotify for the most listened thing on the platform. We are
to number 1, baby.
We're on Google, Amazon, PlayStation Play, Xbox Music,
MySpace video,
TikTok Live.
Did you say Pornhub yet? Like you always
Pornhub.
There you go.
Make sure you get your premium $9.99 a month, baby.
Let's go.
And Amanda, because you are here and Miguel is not, do you have any last words that you would like to say? Well said. Well
she is
said. Well
such
said.
a way with
What
words.
a way with words.
All right.
Beautiful.